So I'll be demonstrating MCP servers today with Claude. So I'll be covering what they are, how powerful they are, and why every developer should be using them. So think of MCP as connecting a USB, which could be to a massive set of files, a huge code base, or an entire database to an LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. So before you had to manually provide everything to LLMs like copy pasting code, files, or picture, but now you could just tell it what to do and it connects everything itself. So let's say you have a massive code base which is very complex with multiple connecting codes connecting to each other, which makes it quite difficult and sometimes even impossible to provide everything to the LLM. So it will not have enough context and it will hallucinate and not be, and it will cause, massive hit to your productivity. So MCP handles all that and much more. It can read and write. So there are multiple MCP servers. You can even create your own MCP servers for Figma, for Docker, for Slack, for Jira. For today's demonstration, we will be using local file system MCP server and GitHub MCP server. So this is my code base, and I want to basically, this is a quite comprehensive code base. So we have Next.js frontend, we have Django backend. The Django backend has a lot of code in it. Uh, Views is full of functions. URL is full of paths. Every path has its own function. Uh, we have services. So services for Hugging Face, for AWS, for LangChain, and so this is a very complex pipeline. It's almost of 700 lines of code. It has S3 and all that stuff in it. And then we have the front end, which is full of components and full of different APIs. So I want to implement a feature in it, which is basically it takes users prompt and we basically help them um, generate stories from that substantial stories from that prompt. So let's get into it. I'm going to ask Claude to first go into my directory and analyze all the files and also create a feature branch so we don't do all the development on main. All right, so it has created a feature branch. Let's check what it has done. All right, so we have a new feature branch. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy, and it can make CI/CD pipelines and all that too. So quite cool. So now let's move to the backend part and tell it to implement backend. First, let me check. Let me just go into my feature branch. This is what I actually wanted to do in the backend. LLMs are only as good as you are, so you have to provide it context and you have to provide it with specific instructions on what to do. So let's see what it does. All right, so our backend is complete. It is insanely comprehensive. It even added documentation, which I did not tell it to do. So, and it has context. So if I need to change anything, it has everything it needs to know. Quite crazy. So now let's implement the front end for it and test it out then. All right, so our front end is ready. Now let's check it out, see how it looks. Great, so we have stories on my sidebar component. All right, just a simple story. Let's see what happens. All right, so we do receive the API. It's working. See how it looks on front end. And there we go. Pretty cool. Extremely cool. So this is the power of MCP servers. Now I'll ask it to make a Docker file for my front end and back end, so I could build an image for that. So let's do that. This itself is pretty cool. So, and if I need to change anything into it, my LLM already has all the context it needs to do any changes in this. So very powerful tool, but there is a catch. You need to control it, and it is only as good as you are technically, and you do have to watch for security risks. But this is only one MCP service. There are thousands of MCP servers, and you can even make your own MCP server. So you can make some seriously powerful AI agents, and you could massively increase your speed of development. It's this is what we are heading towards, and yeah. So now it's implementing the Docker files. Very impressive.